All right. Welcome to another rendition of Math is Easy Step by Step. I am working on this particular test question problem is another scientific notation problem, and you're not allowed to use your calculator. So you need to solve this particular problem manually with no calculator. And so, hey, let's just dive right on in here to it. I would like to say, if you like these videos, please like, follow, and share these videos. I've got a goal, I'd like to reach 20,000 followers with 100,000 or more views. So, and oh, also, I've created a bunch of scientific notation videos. I go over the rules for finding the sum or the difference or the product or the quotient of science using scientific notation. So please check out those videos. They will help you out dramatically. I've also have a few videos on the exponents rules, right, and understanding the product quotient of the exponent rule. So check those out. They'll help you with this video as well. All right, jumping right on in there to it. Let's go. Jumping right, diving into the deep end. All right, what is the product of 8 times 10 to the 6th power times 4 times 10 to the negative 2 power without using a calculator? Write the answer in scientific notation, right? And so option A, 32 times 10 to the 4th power. Raise this up a little bit so you can see those options. B, 3.2 times 10 to the negative 12. C, 3.2 times 10 to the 4th power. And D, 3.2 or 3 and 2 tenths times 10 to the 5th power. Now, what I do want to mention before I go too far is product. If you understand that product simply means the answer to a multiplication problems, then you know you're going to be multiplying these values of scientific notation. Sometimes they will not give you the multiplication symbol. They'll just say, hey, what's the product? And they'll give you a couple values in scientific notation. So I wanted to clarify. Product means an answer to a multiplication problem. All right, and so I'd like to get into a test taking strategy. If I'm going too fast, please stop, pause, rewind, and watch this video as many times as you need. So here's going to be a test taking strategy for you. If you haven't seen many of my videos, especially in scientific notation, then you need to understand there's a way to eliminate options A, B, C, and D. Do you know what it is? Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. It's kind of like a little cheat, right? You're cheating, kind of like a cheat sheet or cheating on a test. You're able to eliminate one of these options. And I call that a test-taking strategy. You can understand the test-taking strategy by simply understanding your answers that are available and understanding the rules for scientific notation. So, scientific notation, you have to have a number in front of this times 10 with the exponential power. The number here has got to be between 1.0 through 9.9. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at option A. You can eliminate A because it doesn't fall between 1.0 and 9.9. Is 32 between 1 and 9.9? No. 32 is larger than 9.9. Eliminate option A. Gone. Now you have three options to choose from. That's a 33.3% chance of just guessing the answer correctly, right? And so if you can eliminate another B, C, or D, that gives you a 50% chance of guessing it correctly, right? And so these test-taking strategies really help when you're taking these multiple option exams. So please use those test-taking strategies. All right, so there you go. Eliminate option A. So in these next two segments of what I'm going to be showing you here, apologize for that transition. That may not be the best transition in the world. Oh, brother, but I'm doing the best I can. In order to answer these questions, there's a few things that you must know, right? So you must know a few of these things in order to solve the problem. Base, that times 10, will always be in your answer for scientific notation, okay? And so I just want to go over a few facts with you in understanding. Again, the value in front of that base 10 must be a value of 1.0 through 9.9, right? So 10 doesn't count. You cannot have an answer of 10 in scientific notation, right? And you cannot have an answer that's smaller than 1.0. So you need to understand, you need to know some of these rules, right? And so simply put, I'd like to show you one of these rules now. So when the decimal in front of the number that's between 1 and 9.9, or any time really, when the decimal moves to the left, you add one exponential value. So one move to the left, you add one exponential value. Two moves to the left, you add two exponential values. Let me show you an example. So we have 325 times 10 to the second power. There's an invisible decimal here to the right of the 5. I'm showing you that here now. I'm going to move this decimal until I find a number that's between 1 and 9.9. That's when I know I stop. I stop moving that decimal when I get to a number between 1 and 9.9. So I move it 1, 2 times. 3.25 is between 1.0 and 9.9. So I moved it 2 times to the left. That means I'm going to add 2 to that exponential power of 2. So now I've got 3.25 times 10 to the fourth power. Okay. I'm going to continue on with the rules. When you move your decimal to the right, it's kind of the inverse or the opposite of what we just went over, right? So when you move the decimal to the right, you subtract one exponential value for each time you move it. So here's an example, right? I got 0.000121 times 10 to the 7th. I need to move that decimal until I get a number between 1 and 9.9. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you here. I've got that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I had to move it 4 times to the right in order to have a number between 1 and 9.9. So 1.21 is a number between 1 and 9.9. That's when I know I need to stop moving that decimal, right? 1.21 is between 1 and 9.9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 times to the right. The rule is you subtract 4 from the exponential value. My new scientific notation number is 1.21 times 10 to the 7 minus 4 is 3. To that third power. To the third power. All right. So that's the conclusion to part 1. Stick around for part 2 and part 3 of this instructional video and showing you how to answer or find the product given two scientific notation values. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me.